Okay. All right. It's like everything is copacetic. Good morning, everyone. Oh, wait, no, it is not. We got to fix our camera. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ace. I like doing art. We're going to do some more progress on the 3D model I'm working on. It's for a larger project. I'm making a comic. That is the wrong way. And we are making progress. What I want to do is I want to just document the entire process of one uh, sculpt, one 3D character project, and then once this one is done, I am going to try to make more progress towards my goal, and I'll probably do different kinds of art, in the meantime. So what I was thinking about doing is taking doing like maybe today, like every Monday, we work on 3D character, and then any other art stream will be a different project. Okay, and then I'll just, whatever day that lands on, whatever I'm at in the process of creating, that's what I'll stream. Unless it's it's retopology, because I think we've seen enough of that, and I'll just do a different kind of project. I got multiple projects working in the background because I like drawing, but I only been streaming this really, so I'm trying to change that, and that's what I got planned for right now. Okay, what we are doing is I just shrink wrap the high poly mesh onto the low poly, and now we are refining the secondary, tertiary, and micro details. Okay, I did the eyes, I did the nose. This is a character, and what I'm doing is I'm going to use these as reference for my 3D comic, and it takes place. Well, this particular scene takes place during the Vietnam War era, and this is one of the characters in that scene. I'm working on them by order of appearance, because as soon as I get to sculpt 6, which I hope to do sometime this year, I'm going to start doing pages, and then you can look forward to that as a future art stream. I might actually give that its own day. I have not been really streaming on Wednesdays lately, but maybe I can take a Wednesday and plan that for the actual comic, every Wednesday. I'm trying not to stream too much though, because it's I don't know. I don't think that's um helpful to my goal, but you know, I'll figure something out because I do like streaming. I just don't want to do it a lot, especially since I think we are on month uh 8 of streaming this project. So I took 6 months off. We would be, of course, what, a year and 2 months, but I had to take some months off, you know, due to family stuff. But we're here. We are. Okay. Enough about that. Just some musings of what I hope to do in the future. I had to start it earlier, but I'm sorry, I had to take care of some other stuff as well. But we should be able to go a little bit longer than usual today. I don't know. I might not though. I might just do a short stream and then just do it tomorrow because I do have my entire morning tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. I'm not even, I shouldn't even be saying anything because every time I plan something, it gets changed or ruined or something happens. Okay, so I'm just not gonna say anything and just do it. Okay, I'm trying to see where we need to start here. Okay, it looks like everything is fine. I don't really see anything that needs to be refined currently. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Let's hit the space bar. Stop that. I guess this is for animation. We're going to get into that too. I'm working on a side project so I can start doing animation practice. And after that is done, I have some options with that because these characters are game ready. What I was thinking about doing is to start planning the concept of a future game project. Here's something that we got to work on right here. The armpit. This happened, so let's try to fix it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna straight up just smooth everything out and see what happens. Okay, let's see here. Well, that is not really good here. I hope you had a great weekend. I did. I played a little bit of Minecraft this weekend. Made some progress on the farm. I streamed some of that. It wasn't what I expected, but like I said, you have to start somewhere. All right, we're not particularly like experts at starting all the mods 10. That's my first time playing it, but we will get to the point where we're doing, you know, probably more better things than staring at plants all day, staring at mystical agriculture crops. I can't wait to automate that, so I'll just never touch it again. Okay, so we're going to need some. There's one thing that I forgot to set up before we started. That was some reference. I don't think I particularly have. No, I'm not going to say that because I know I do. I have every part of the human body except, you know, the. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any, you know, private parts, but uh, you know, the relevant parts to our project. Okay. What I'm looking for is some. I can't show this because this is actually naked people that I'm using as reference here to do these sculpts. Okay, here we go. I'm looking for the armpit. Now this isn't supposed to. It's not supposed to connect perfectly horizontally like that. And I just want to get actually, you wouldn't really see that at all. But since he's in the A pose, what I'm trying to do is just take this area and just bring it up. Having trouble doing that though, because um, I don't recall this happening in my other two sculpts that I've done so far on stream. So I haven't actually shown this particular part of the process. But like I said, my goal is just to have one full process done and archived, so that way, you know, just for completion's sake, you know, so I could say, yeah, this is the entire process here of what I'm doing, and just refine it from there. I've been doing this for like a few years now, and um, my hope is just to, you know, just refine what I've already learned and get better at it. And I do have notes here to because there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. And one day I'm going to do a stream where I'm going to get up, and it's probably most likely going to be on the weekend. I'm going to get up super early and just start a project and see how far we can get in one day. Okay, I think we might I might be able to pull off the initial sculpt, but I don't know about retopology. That's going to be like another day. Maybe we can stretch that to a weekend. Do a sculpt one day and then retropology the next day. But then there's clothing and so on and so forth. But that's kind of like something I want to do, just a like an endurance round of sculpting. So I really want to be able to do this, without faster for one, and without having to refer to my notes. I want to commit everything to memory. Okay, okay. I'm trying to just stretch this back up. I don't know why this connected that way. You know what? Actually, I can see. Let's see what happened. Let's see what we got on the old one. This is how it should look. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring it up here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and stretch this up here. I think we will be okay. We should be able to do that. I don't know why I did that in the first place. They're not very close to. Wait, are they close together? Yeah, they're not really close together. I don't know why they connected like that. I'm gonna show you something else too. Oops. Okay, now you can see all the where the fingers are. What we sculpted the first time around months ago. Like I said, that's one of the things I want to change. I don't want this to be like a months long project. I know I've been kind of like not as fast as the other ones. I think this is probably the longest one I've spent time on because actually I don't know why. We started this in April. Yeah, April. So we're in June. It shouldn't take 2 months for this. That's only because I was trying to keep it all on stream, and I should be able. It should be 2 weeks instead of like 2 months. I'm trying here. I'm trying to work it out here. I know we've been doing some game streams too. Usually I think I started off in the evening, and now we're kind of doing just Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. But this is what we got here. This is what I wanted to show you. This happened on the finger too. We got to bring that back up to where it was before. And this particular sculpt, I have the toes sculpted together. They're not apart. My animation has the toes separated. I think I did show that briefly, but I don't. I see a lot of stuff on Twitch. I don't know what's allowed anymore. I'm just not gonna worry about it. I've seen people who, they do, they have a lot of focus on the foot, and it's on stream. So I mean, I guess as long as we don't show any, like nipples or genitalia, or I don't know. I'm not sure about the butt, but we'll see. We're gonna relax our security a little bit here. I don't know what's going on. And if Twitch gets angry, then it just we'll see what happens. Okay. Just trying to get the I'm trying to bring. We're gonna work from top to bottom here. I think the faces is okay. I was going to do the collarbone next, but the collarbone suit's okay. And the neck, I don't really see any big problems here. Because I started another sculpt, I'm trying to like I've my off stream sculpt, and I can probably show a little bit of it. Um, I'll probably do that later. I could do it right now because I want to try to get some progress done here. We had a bit of a late start, but we'll be all right. Let me see. Just bring this up. I want to do this carefully. I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So I'm just trying to keep it even and level so that way we can get a nice skin crease there. Starting to get, I'm going to take this side here and kind of like bring it into the arm a little bit. Okay. Just going to just try to get a more natural shape going here. I'm going to try to take this incline, I guess, push this side into the arm, push that side into the body, and then just kind of push the center upward. I kind of wish that we didn't have to do this, but I think this is probably the worst it's been. I'm not really sure if maybe the arms are a little too A. I don't know. A shaped, too A shaped. Maybe they were up a little higher on the last ones, but I'm not really sure. You know, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. I think there is I know enough to be able to fix. You know, if I'm seeing a problem, I can fix it. I'm not gonna be stumped on it or anything, unless it's something that I've forgotten. You know, there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot to keep track of, but I'm not really too concerned about being stumped. And if I am, then I'll figure it out and we'll just fill the time, whatever time is left, with a different project. Because I have multiple, I have so many, so many art projects. That's probably the reason why I forget things sometimes because I have so much stuff slurred around in my brain, I'm spinning so many plates. Okay. But I like multitasking. The only way you're going to get better at it is if you keep doing it and just try to refine what you're doing. I like keeping myself busy when I have the free time to do that. Let's see. Okay. And we're going to see here. I need to take this shoulder muscle that stretches. We're going to refine that. So as soon as I'm done with this, that's going to be my next target. I wanted to fix the armpit first because that's where all the problems are. And I mean, you know, technically, actually, you know what? Maybe we could take this entire muscle and kind of stretch it down a little bit because this should connect. And it does connect. It's just, yeah, I want to kind of just beef it up a little bit. We're not making Arnold here. I mean, he's toned, but he's not like super. Well, I don't know. His back kind of turned out like super diesel, more diesel than I expected. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay. This particular character is gonna be clothed for the entire story, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm just gonna smooth it out some, try to make it look a little bit more natural. I will say though that, and I probably said it before, I enjoy sculpting, and it seems to be helping my drawing. Like I haven't been drawing much lately, besides the little bit of time that I put into my future emotes. I want to do another character. I'll probably do the last summer's character again. It's not going to be a yearly thing, but just a real proof of concept for the how I want my comic to look. I'm experimenting with cross hatching. I think it's something that I always wanted to implement, but I'm not very good at it. So I want to try to get some practice in here. I tried it with my last picture. It was okay. I don't know. It seemed the cross hatching work that I do seems a little flat. So I'm going to try to work that in somehow. If I can get that to work, I'm most likely going to have it in my art for the comic itself. Let's smooth this out. That looks a little better. There's still a lot of stretching, like right here. It should be like a crease almost, especially at this pose. Said it's not going to be super accurate, but we're going to try to do the best that we can here. Okay, and just going to just kind of go up some. Let's smooth that out. Smooth this part out. I'm going to turn this way. So make sure it's nice and it looks a little better. Refer to my reference here. See, I have the full armpit, but their arms are up, so it's not very helpful. And when the arms are down, I can't see the armpit at all. So that's why I'm thinking about just taking this. Well, I'm not thinking about. That's why I'm going to stretch this muscle out a little bit more, because there should be more touching here. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that now. Take this clay strip brush. We're going to kind of just lower the radius a little bit. And I'm going to take, it should be more, I guess it should be more like this. The armpit should not be that visible. I got that, like a person is like has his hand, his fist on his hip. I don't know, I guess he's kind of flexing too. Here, I'll show you. This is anatomy for sculptors. That's what I use for reference. That's basically, oh, we got some nipple there. Sorry. Um, oh, never mind. I don't know if I can show that. Although I see people take their shirts off at fighting game tournaments and they have their bodies on full display, but I am not a TO. I'm not a tournament organizer, so I don't think I'll have the leeway for that. So let's just not, okay? And that's as much as I can show because the next square is a woman, and their shirt is also off, so we can't really show that much more. Um, I'm not too concerned about it though. It's no big deal. It's not like it's sexual or anything. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to try to do this. And yeah, it looks a little better. I think that muscle that I'm doing, I think it's a little too horizontal. So let me try to, I'm just gonna grab this line here and kind of just move it up some. I think that's just grab it and just push it up. Okay, that's what we're gonna do because it should be a little bit more inclined. So we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna grab this, push this some, and we can probably just smooth this part out. It doesn't have to come over this far. Yeah, our anatomy just needs a little bit more refinement, but we are learning a lot from it. Let me just smooth that part out and then try to go on ahead, increase the radius here. We don't want to grab his entire pec and just scrunch it up. Just want to grab this part, so we're going to keep it the radius relatively small here. And I think that should be good. Probably just do this. I'm gonna beef up his shoulder a little bit. It is super defined. That's okay though. All right. Lower this and kind of define the area between the shoulder muscles and the bicep a little bit more. Do I have an underside of the bicep? Oh, we can't. Yeah, be, yeah. We're gonna keep this square over on the other monitor. Oh my gosh. Anyways, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and smooth all of this out. Just a little bit there. He's getting more diesel. All right, so and I'm gonna take this. It's like 3, 4 like muscle groups here. You got this one, and then you got this kind of like this teardrop shape here, and then this side. And I think this counts as a different one too. Pretty sure. Like I said, I'm not an anatomy expert. I just draw the muscles, okay? But it's been very helpful. My powers have doubled since the last time. I don't know why I reference Star Wars, but somebody was a super casual. I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan, but I quote it a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I like some of the games though; they're okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is going to that looks weird. We're gonna have to fix that. All these little, so it looks like his biceps made out of beef stew. Let's not do that. Just gonna go ahead and smooth that out. Luckily, it's really easy to shape things for the most part. It's only when you get to like really detailed areas and you don't have enough polygons is when you have trouble shaping things, or at least when I have trouble shaping things. So we're gonna go on ahead and just smooth out the bicep for a second here. And we're pretty much staying at wait, is this, yeah, okay, because we're at subdivision level 5. We're at 7 million, but it's actually we're going to bake this down to 1, so it's going to end up around, hold on, I'm going to take it down to 1 real quick. That's 0. That's 1. It's really going to be somewhere around this level, 100,000 polygons. But what we're the level 5 is where it's going to be baked at. This looks more like how the retopology looks, which actually isn't too bad. So if I were to put this in a video game, it would be at this size, 100,000, but with the higher detail. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just go back. It'll look more like this once we're done. Well, hopefully better than this because we're not done with it and we're still adding stuff. But you get the idea. I have an idea. I have some ideas for a game, but I know what the first one is going to be, and I'm been brainstorming the concept of it, and hopefully we'll be able to make it work the way I think it could work. We'll see. Oh, I don't want to put that there. It looks like something's wrong with his bicep, but that's okay. It's made out of spaghetti, or what are the long flat noodles? Is that linguine? I don't know. It looks like that though. Let's go ahead and smooth it out now. I'm gonna smooth it. Trying to get this down. We don't want to make him too diesel. He's not supposed to be like that. The strong people are in the future. The stronger people. Like I got a couple of martial arts characters, and they'll probably be. I don't know. I was thinking about doing them out of order. When I was first doing the character concepts, I was doing them in um all whatever character is in this setting. I was drawing that character in that setting. So say that, like, for example, main character is from country A, right? And like, okay, yeah, and then that character leaves that country for a while and then comes back, and then there's like different characters, right? That's more or less how it'll be treated in the scene. But the way I was drawing the concepts at first before I started doing 3D was I was just, okay, since everyone that is in this country is draw them all together, okay, instead of by order of appearance. But we're doing it by order of appearance. So I probably won't sculpt them that way, even though I was thinking about doing that just to, get everyone out of the way. That way, if I go back to that, when I go to another um, country or another scene, and I come back to that scene, the characters are ready. I could just do the page. That was my logic behind doing it that way, but we'll see. I don't know. By order of appearance is fine too. I don't think it'll actually. It's either I spend the time now or I spend the time later. I actually don't know if I'll save any time doing it the other way, or you're doing it one way over the other. So I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to go on ahead and smooth this down because he looks really strong right now. But I also want to keep the shape, so I want to make sure that there's no dips or dents in his body. It's not natural. Not natural to have dents unless there's like an injury or something, or a birth defect or something like that. But we don't have that. All right, so let me just smoothing this out. I think I can probably use the flat brush. Looking at the bicep right now, I'm trying to make sure it's round-ish. Lines like that don't need to be there. Make it natural. Looks like he has like a big bean bag on his arm with all these lumps. So we're just trying to smooth it out. I think what I can do is increase the radius and grab the grab tool, pick the grab tool and kind of just pull out that dent there that I keep working on. It's see like I make it, it's either I make it worse or I just return it to its original state. So let me just pull the thing out right here like this. I'm gonna just grab that and kind of push it, like just pull it, not really pushing it. I'm pulling it. Moving around. And the reason why I like using a clay strip because it kind of adds that natural definition. You can your muscles can kind of look a little sinewy, which sometimes um is 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 a natural look, for a person. Although I think to have a physique like this, you would kind of have to dehydrate yourself a little bit, which is not healthy or and not common either. These aren't bodybuilders, so we want to try to, even like I said, even though he's not going to really be taking his shirt off, so it doesn't really matter. We want to do you want to do the best that we can in practice. That way, when we can figure out how to do it faster when we're actually doing a proper mesh here, and the mesh is the final result. I can forgive some mistakes with this because we're going to draw it. We could just, like I say, like I would just put a, oops, I accidentally put a hole in his head. I can just ignore the hole and just draw the rest, right? Just for a very unlikely and weird scenario. I'm just trying to give an example of what I mean by this is not the final result. But if I were making a game character and I put this in the game, then it would have to look as best as it can look. And we're just going to do that right out of the gate. So that's never a problem. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to just use the flat brush to kind of smooth out the surface and hopefully not flatten his muscles too much. Just trying to flatten this just enough to flatten the surface. Just go ahead and put that there. And we have strength at 500. Let me probably lower the strength a little bit. That way we don't dent our surface here, like flattening it, because this is a very strong brush. You can flatten. See how it's flattening right there? I'm just showing you. See, nice and flat. Now let's just Control Z that. We don't want that, so we're just making sure that that doesn't happen. Also, his bicep is really large. We got to push all that in. Hold on, wait. That's one thing I like about the 3D space is that you can just you don't have to flip the camera. You just rotate what you're looking at, and you have to, of course, reference something from all directions. That's really the only difference. That doesn't make it so bad though. If you can see every angle of a reference, which is why I use anatomy for sculptors because they have angles of pretty much everything, every part of the body. Every relevant part, I should say. They're not going to show you like the underside of like a scrotum sac or whatever. It's a little crazy. Well, I'm sure you could probably find that in an adult website though if you really want to look for a reference for that. I don't know. Anyway, let's get off of that subject. What I'm going to do is you shouldn't really be able to see the bicep from the back. Here's the example. So you just got the tricep and the elbow and the forearm. So that's what we're going by. And this can probably be pushed in too. I think that is the bicep. Nope, actually that's the tricep. All right, so I'm going to grab the bicep, or sorry, the tricep. Oh, that's a little too large. And I'm going to put it and push it back a little bit. His triceps are not as defined as ours. I know they're supposed to. You know, I think my. I don't know. I feel like my tricep might be a little bit too on the side there a little bit. I don't think that's wrong though. You can see the tricep from the side of your arm. It's mostly on the side. I think there's just because mine is more defined than his. I don't want to search for a better reference with that on the screen there because I am definitely going to show something that I should not show. Okay. Here's a better example. So you have the smaller part of the tricep, the smaller teardrop, and the larger teardrop. And that's pretty much what I did here. So we're good. But consistently, you don't see the bicep from the back. So that's why we pushed it in a little bit. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just lower the radius a little bit. See, you're getting a little dent there. I don't lock that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the radius down a little bit further and kind of just push, or sorry, almost like I keep saying push, pull out those dents in the bicep, and then we're just going to smooth it out. Let's look here. Yes, it's a very jacked bicep. He's starting to become Arnold. We don't want him to be Arnold. I'm gonna have a much like a more natural build, not all cut up. All right, so I'm just gonna try to shape the bicep a little bit more. Okay. Just looking around a little bit. Looking at the back muscles now. I guess that's okay. This one is a little well defined. A little too well defined. Hey 99, welcome in. Hope you're having a great morning. Well, I, you already told me how your morning was going. I hope your morning is better. Um, yes, I am. I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to make some progress here. We are redefining everything for baking. Once we bake, there's no more sculpting to do. It's just textures and hair, and then we're going to try to figure out the rigging process. I'm going to try to do that on stream because I should be able to, and without notes either. And once I figure that out, then we're good. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna press fast forward on this project after that. It's better. Watched a bunch of indie animations and learned about new fossils. Oh, nice. Indie animations. Where on YouTube? I found the animation that you showed me. Um, yeah, I completely missed that. This is actually that's actually episode 3 of the series. I don't know how I kept missing those because I vote regularly on animations on Newgrounds, and I just did not see that one for whatever reason. But I do know of the artist that did it. I do recognize the artist's work now. Um, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I find it funny that the concept of a demon hipster chick is so widespread. Okay, I was like that it kind of I was like damn. I was like, well, it's okay because that really should not matter. I'm not like I'm there's nothing for me to change. I really want to do like a spin-off series with that character. I am I know that if I can get that project going, that it'll be able to set itself apart because I already have a lot of the ideas already planned out for it. Um, and there's proof. I got proof on the website that I had that character. for years. So it gets blocked a lot because of the artist. Yeah, that artist does a lot of not safe for work stuff. I've seen some of it, and I understand. I understand. I understand why they would do that. Um, yeah, you have to be, especially when you're on YouTube. You got to be real careful about what you animate. I noticed that some of those shots were very. It's like, oh, okay. I'm surprised this is still up on YouTube. But it was a very good series. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm going to have to. That's what I gotta. That's what I'm going to have to. That's the space that I'm going to have to share. We're gonna have to make sure that our animation is it's very 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 good to be worthy of sharing a portal with the likes of that. Only problem with it is I haven't really animated anything, much less on that level. My animations for this stream are very basic, but I have a pretty good idea about the workflow for that. So I mean, I'm not really too worried about it. I just have to do it and get the experience for doing it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this doesn't look too bad. I need to rig this character and then have him raise his arm and see how it looks then. But I don't know how. I mean, I don't know what to do after that because by that point it's already baked. So if there's any problems with the armpit area, it's just gonna have to get left that way. I was thinking about adding some animated transitions for my Final Fantasy reviews. Yeah, do it. It's it's definitely something that well, I don't know. I don't know if people do that in reviews. I guess they do. But most people just do skits, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure I mean, there's a way. There's always a way to set if you want to stand out, there's always a way to figure that out. It's just, I don't know. I think most people just do what they like, what they've seen in other people's stuff that they like, and just do it with theirs. But I mean, the goal would be to stand out, I guess. So that back is too ripped, man. But we're gonna leave it. No one does the reviews the way I am. I think I shared my gimmick with you. Yeah, I think you did, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Whoa. That's yeah, I think we're good. I'm looking at it as it's too strong. I made it too diesel. I made him too diesel. I'm gonna leave it though, because you can't really tell with all the clothing on. He does have clothes. Where are the clothes? Oh, that's how much we added to his to his muscles. Okay, I'm gonna have to stretch that part out. Whoops. Be all right. We'll be all right. Hmm. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower this and let's see, crease sharp. Let's try crease sharp. I'm just gonna go ahead and just make the crease straight up with the brush. Oh, that's a little too sharp. Let's lower the strength. I'm almost done with Final Fantasy 2. Nice. I can't wait till I start playing those again. I'm gonna go through the whole series. I haven't. I don't. I mean, before six, I think I did try six. Yeah, I tried six because I did have anthology, but I forgot who gave me that, but I gave it to Typo because I wasn't really into it. After I didn't see the point of playing 2D RPGs when we had 3D RPGs back then. Like I said, coming up, I wasn't. There wasn't. I didn't. I don't know. I was very opinionated. I was like, why are we still playing 2D games? We're in the future now. It's very closed minded on certain things. Like that. Mostly just video games and TV shows and anime. But we're not like that anymore. I see the value in the retro style. All right. I mean, that was just teenager stuff, but I never really had a problem with 2D. Especially, I was open to playing 2D, just not really like that. Not like that, you know. And I kept playing 2D for a long time. I'm gonna think there's a way to make this a little bit. Don't play the PSX versions. Wow, jeez. All right. Why? Why not, man? I don't want to buy it again though. I have it already. I have the Wait, do I have 5 and 6? Actually, I don't know if I have the PSX versions anyway. But why can't I play the PSX versions? I'm sure you'll tell me. Let's go back because I wanted to smooth that out and not create more creases. Okay. Let's just try to smooth this, smooth it, smooth it, smooth it. They're the worst versions. They're the first versions. How can they be the worst? I thought the whole point was to play the original stuff. You know, when you do retro, I mean, some people go as far as it has to be on a CRT V. You just upscale the originals and play them that way instead of on an emulator. You know, people are very particular about that stuff. But you're saying that the originals are no go, or a no go, I should say. So why? Why? Why do it? Come on, tell me. Tell me now. But yeah, I gotta check my library. I gotta see which ones that I actually do have. I know I have Tactics, but that's PSX. That's 3D also, right? Or is it 2D? I don't know. They're coming out with another one anyway, right? So what is it? I guess that's completely moot. Is it a remake or is it a sequel? I actually didn't see the actual reveal. I just saw people talking about it and I saw some screenshots. I actually missed that one. Um, but I saw everything after. Final Fantasy 1, Game Boy. Okay, I know I have that. PR? What is PR? I don't know what PR is. What does PR mean? Oh, Pixel Remaster. Gotcha. Yeah, I've never seen that abbreviated that way, so I was a little confused. All right, I think we're good. You really can't. Yeah, you can't really see that now, and it sort of looks like an armpit. Wait, hold on. This. Okay, you probably should have made that chasm a little bit thicker. See how you like this. Final Fantasy 1 to 3 PSX has all the flaws of the originals, plus new bugs and Discord loading even in the emulation. What are the flaws though? Because if there's something that's like nitpicking, I'm not going to care about that. I'm just going to play the game. What bugs are we talking about here? Oops, sorry. These are things you're supposed to do at the beginning of the stream. That's a lot. Disk loading. I mean, it's going to load. There's no PlayStation games that have trouble loading. I know it works. It's going to work. All right, I'm gonna try to take this area here underneath what I just created, this area here, and push it towards the arm. I don't think there's a lot of definition down in there. I'm gonna go back to my original references that I was using that I did show already. Yeah, there's really not much definition there. So in FF2, that version lowers stats when you raise other stats. That's the version that made me hate FF2, and now I think I love it. Okay, so they just made a gameplay change. It's not really a bug though. I was more concerned about the bugs. It's only two. FF1's whole spells don't work or lower stats when they should raise. Okay. I mean, they had revisions back then. I don't know why they wouldn't just create another like a rev version of Final Fantasy One. I'm sure they did. They did it for Super Mario 3. So why not that? Oh, this is not the right brush. I was wondering why I was doing that. I was like, why are we making pock marks? What we need is the grab tool. Kind of just want to push that in a little bit. And you know what? Let's not even grab it, because the best thing for this would be to just use the flatten. We have the abilities. We have the skills, the tools to eliminate this little like fatty area here that we create. Kind of. It's a pixel remaster. They fix bugs and iron out shifty gameplay. PSX is the worst of each version. And this is 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1 through 6. Well, I'll tell you what. Regardless, I'll put them all on my wish list. That way, when I do get to doing the franchise Fridays for Final Fantasy, um, they'll probably be on sale by then, and we can just go ahead and just get them right then and there, and not have to worry about any of that. We're gonna crank this strength all the way. Let's see. We're gonna flatten this bad boy right now. You can see it's moving. And I'm just going to try to just get it real close to the arm. And what I could also do is just bring this part out to match. But there shouldn't be that thing should not be here. Okay, you know what? Try inflating it then. Trying to get it to where it's level with the rest of the arm. Maybe we could bring the area around it up some and eliminate it that way. How about this? How about this? Yeah, I think that's working a little better. We just added an extra crease there because we went a little bit beyond where we should have, but a nice little smooth. You just hold down shift and you can just smooth it right out easily without actually having to select. Sometimes I select the smooth brush directly, but holding shift automatically changes it to smooth, which is good in a pinch. Still, I can still tell it's there just a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna. When you're ready, I tell you the best versions of each. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me now. And this is through from 1 to 6, and plus you already told me about Zodiac Age. I was gonna do the original for 12. Uh, but I know that's another thing where you're like, no, no, no. So okay, I'll follow your advice. Okay, I will follow your advices. Sometimes I just play the original anyway, or watch the original. I know I've been instructed many times to watch the new Hellsing over the original, or I think it was Darker Than Black. What was it, Gemini, whatever the heck? I think I saw that before the first one. I was scolded for this. Things like that, This is the game version of that. Okay, I'm tempted to just fire them up and play them because I have them, but maybe we'll just listen. Okay, maybe we'll just listen. A little bit of Green Goblin action going on here. I gotta take a look at that nose. Wait, it could just be yeah, it should be more rounded, not pointed. I don't think it'll matter though. That's very particular. That's a very, very much a nitpick. He has a nose. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's a little bulbous, a little bit more bulbous than well, not bulbous, but pointy. Okay, kind of can just bring it out a little bit. I just noticed that. But this is what this stage of the workflow is for, is just to kind of do your tweaks. We got to do it now because we're fast approaching baking, and once it's baked, we can't touch nothing. It's done. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do it all over again, and not the whole thing, but at least up to we have to rebake it, and we don't want to do that. You only need to bake it once. Rebaking it would mean uh doing repeating all the steps after uh no, I think we would have to unwrap and then go on from there, if I remember correctly. That's a few weeks, going by just just streaming. Like I said, once this is done, the next sculpt I'm going to see, you're only going to see bits and pieces of that because I'm just going to be blasting. I'm going to be going for it. Okay, let's see. The list I sent are the best. I meant when you're playing, I'll remind you. Okay, got you. This is one of those things I need you to trust me. Please trust me for Final Fantasy. Okay, I got you. We're gonna trust you. Okay, we're gonna trust you. See, that's you. This is the trust. This is the seal of trust here. I got you. I will listen. I'm just saying it's very easy. Like I have them here. We can just play them. Okay, it's just ease of access. I don't when I play games, those things like that don't necessarily bother me because I typically, if I get the first version and they remaster it, I most likely will not get the remaster because I already have it. The differences don't bother me that much. There are exceptions to that rule, like say if it's no longer feasible to play the original version. Uh, I'll give you an example. Well, they're not going to remaster it, but I think they're going to port Metal Gear Solid 4 to PC when they do the next Metal Gear collection. But I got my PlayStation 3 back. I have it back. I didn't have it for years. I got it back, so I have the ability to play it. But I don't know how. I mean, I guess I could just hook it up to my monitor if I really wanted to play it. It's just you see, just grabbing the console, finding a place for it, hooking it up. That's a little inconvenient. I don't have a lot of space for that, especially since I have my feet up on the desk right now. So I ain't gonna be able to play it like this. It would have to be in front of one of my monitors. So it might just be better to just get the PC version of the collection of that game. Um, and then I'm sure they'll fix all the installing and loading that you had to do for that game. What in the world, man? I hate this. Just pull out. Just pull out. Okay. Just pull all the way out. Not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. Just there. Oh, wait, I'm not centered. Sorry. I'm terrible at this streaming thing. Yeah, I'll trust you though. Remastered. Did I get any Oh yeah, I got Monster Rancher 1 and 2. That's DX. That's basically a remaster. And I don't have all the CDs that I had access to back in the day. All right, you can get all of those games or all the monsters because they come from. If you never played Monster Rancher before, those of you who are listening to this and never played Monster Rancher, you get discs, actual discs from other movies, games, music, whatever. You can put them. They allowed you to open your PlayStation up while the game was still playing. You put the disc in, you close it, and that disc will give you a monster, a random monster, and that disc will always give you that particular monster. So you were encouraged to try different CDs. Okay, you don't have to worry about that anymore for the PC version, the DX Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX. All the monsters are built into the game, so that's super convenient. Things like that, it's way better to just get the remaster, you know. Those are the exceptions that I'm talking about. Like Chrono Cross, there's no reason for me to get the new Chrono Cross. I don't really care about the graphics too much. That's just a personal preference. I'm not a graphics man. I mean, I enjoy graphics, when they're not a hindrance, but I still play 2D games. I still play games that don't look great compared to other games because I don't really care about graphics. I'm more about the fun, because it's a video game after all, right? Even though I just told you that, I didn't want to play the old Final Fantasies. That was once upon a time, okay? And that was really only for Final Fantasy. I didn't really see it being as enjoyable as 7 because 7 was a pretty good game overall, you know? So it's like I didn't want to play the 2D versions of Final Fantasy because I had Final Fantasy 7. It's a pretty high bar. It would be nice if they had done their old games like that. But I think they just keep those games 2D when they redo them and just make updated cutscenes for them. Which I guess, if that's what you like. But I would have preferred if they just did 3D versions of their old games. But they remade 7 instead. So yeah, I don't know. We'll get to that one day. We're gonna find out exactly what's going on with that game. When I was a teenager, I wanted them to remake 7 because they announced this way back in the day. Okay, like back when PS2 was a thing. Still in the freaking school when they were talking about remaking Final Fantasy 7. We're just now in the middle of it now. Okay, like years and years and years later when I don't care anymore. Okay, I cared then, but I don't really care now. I'll still play it, but I'm not as enthused as I was about the prospect of a Final Fantasy 7 remake. But I was really looking forward to it back then. Um, as an example, if you want to do hack.gu, never play the PS2 version when we have .hackgu//gu plus recoded. Okay. What? Okay. You know what? That's fine. You can name it however you want, as long as it's fun. All right. They should make Dark Cloud. They should remake that. I'd play that. I was really into that. I still kind of am. I still have favorable opinions for Dark Cloud. That's going to be definitely going to be going to franchise Friday one day. It's only 2 of them too, so uh, they might be. I guess they'd be a little bit shorter than. I don't know. I'm guessing. Maybe around. I think probably it was maybe around the same length as Shadow Heart. So not too bad. I might actually do that after Zelda, since it's only 2 of them. I could get into it, and I might just add Rogue Galaxy in. Just for the heck of it because it's made by the same people and that was like their next game. I don't know if Level 5 did any games after that, but we could probably do that. Okay, the arm. I'm okay with the arm. I'm okay with the arms now. Let's work on that elbow. The elbow is very nondescript. It should be all nice and wrinkly and bumped up. Dark Cloud can't be remade because the owners are gone. Level 5 is gone. It's a sad day. I need some elbow action here. Give me them elbows. I need to see some elbows because we're going to be working on those. And I'm going to use some alphas to further enhance them too. I got some elbow wrinkles that I can just paste on there to kind of enhance what we're doing right now. But that's later down the line. Not too far down. We'll probably get to that maybe tomorrow or next week, but because I really want to try to, let's see, it's June. I want to be done with this sculpt this month, so that way I can just go for it. We're gonna go for it all. We're gonna just blast. I'm gonna grind out art all summer long, and just stream wherever I'm at. I'm gonna stream that. We're not gonna be video diarying, video journaling any more sculpts after this. I just need an elbow. Just need an elbow that I can see. Why is that guy's elbow's not wrinkly? Well, I guess they're not that wrinkled. Well, yeah, they got a little bit of wrinkles to them. What the heck? Yeah, level 5. Rogue Galaxy. I might add that into the franchise. We might just put level 5 franchise Friday. Level 5 games. Dark Cloud 1, 2, and Rogue Galaxy. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to do a little segue. Dark Cloud. Let's see. No, not Dark Clouds. Not actual Dark Clouds. Game. Ah, there. Yes, that looks very familiar. Very nostalgic. Looking at the Dark Cloud 2 cover. Um, level 5. Okay, developers level 5. Oh, they did the Professor Layton series. Okay, maybe uh we can't do franchise Friday level 5 because they did the Yokai Watch games. Megaton Musashi. I don't know that series, but apparently they're not gone. The developers are here. They're still here. They're making a new Professor Layton. They're making Inazuma 11 Victory Road. What is this? It's in development, I think. It's coming out this year. Fantasy Life? I've never heard of this. Oh, it's a sim game, huh? Maybe we'll check that out. Megaton Musashi Cross. Nino Kuni. Oh, these are the guys who made Nino Kuni, or did they just make that one? That is a phone game. Yokai Watch Fantasy Life Online. That is a online mobile game. Layton, yeah, they're doing the Layton games. Okay, so that's what they went. That's what they did, huh? So how about Dark Cloud, guys? Dark Cloud came out in 2000. Wow. Dark Chronicle. Oh, Dark Chronicle is Dark Cloud 2. So that's what they called it, huh? I did not know that. Dragon Quest 8. I actually okay, so they did that game. We're gonna get into Dragon Quest. All right. Okay. So all right, so we'll just do this. Since Rogue Galaxy is a one-off, when I do that, I'm going to do Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2, and Rogue Galaxy. We're going to play Dragon Quest. I never played any of the Professor Layton's, but maybe I'm open for it. And they also did Dragon Quest 9. And then they got the Nino Kuni games. And Nino Kuni is an RPG. We could do a Nino Kuni franchise Friday. It's on, let's see, DS? Nintendo DS? Yeah, I might actually have those. I have to check though. It's possible. But right now, Dark Cloud 1, 2, and Rogue Galaxy. Well, I'm talking about the dev. I literally said level 5. I don't know who owns it. I don't care who owns it. I want to play some dang ding dang Dark Cloud, okay? That's all I want. Some ding dang dong Dark Cloud. I need to go back to looking for elbows now. I'm sorry about that for anyone who was watching that. Sometimes we segue into things that have nothing to do with art. I'm trying to make it so that streaming is a benefit and not a distraction. Okay, a benefit to my art and not a distraction. We're failing. We're failing at that. Let's not be distracted. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Just gotta find some elbow skin, some elbow action. Do I not have any elbow skin references here? So I'm currently looking for. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to find out what I used as a reference the last time I did this, if at all, or did I just wing it, or did I just look at my elbow briefly and then just sketch something in? That is not an elbow. That is something that we are not going to be showing anytime on Twitch. Come on. Come on. Hang on, I'm just little bit of a technical, not technical, but we got a skill issue going on here. Skill issue, not technical difficulty. Skill issue. Skill issue alert is being it's in effect. Okay, in full effect. The Dark Cloud owner is why it's only on PlayStation Plus. Well, I think they would need permission to even put it on there. So if they could get permission for that, then I don't know. Come on, come on. I liked fishing in that game. That was one of the games that had decent. Now I'm saying this because I haven't played it in many years. But when I do play it, we're gonna reevaluate that. We're gonna reevaluate everything. But I remember back in the day enjoying the fishing mini game and the building and the golf. They had like a golf mini game too, where you can play golf in the zone in the fighting zones, and actually you have to bank your shots off of rock faces and around trees and across rivers to try to get to the goal. It's actually, and you got one try basically. You got one try to do. You have to do. I don't remember. I don't think it's one try, but you have to do it in a certain amount of shots. I don't remember what you got for doing that, but it was necessary for some reason. I don't know. You got something for it. I don't remember what. But what I like most about those games is the weapon customization system. That was like its main thing. He could, but he doesn't want to, so it's only on PlayStation Plus. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I actually had it on my account, but I wiped my account when I got gave my PlayStation 3 away, and I now I'm regretting it because I got my PlayStation back. It was given back to me, and I was like, well, I wish I had kept everything on it because now they shut down the store and I can't put anything on it besides what I have for physical copies. So I only really screwed myself. Well, we're not doing ever doing that again. Just need some elbow meat. What in the world did I use? Okay, you know what? We're gonna wing it now. We're gonna wing it. I'm sorry for that. Where are we at here? I can't find what I use for an elbow. You know what? That's close enough. Screw it. Screw it. We're weirdly missing. Everyone's weirdly missing the wrinkles in their elbow. Fantasy Life is the new hotness at the moment in farming games. Oh yeah, yeah. That looked actually when I the brief glance that I got at it, it actually looked like something that I would play. We got a lot of games like that though that we're gonna go through. I mean, right now we're setting up our forever world in Minecraft, but I'm definitely going to get into playing like things like that, Vintage Story, and I'm also looking at In Zoid. That looks interesting to me too. I want to see what that modding scene is like. um, I can't. I'm not gonna stream The Sims. I do play that because I mod it, and some of the mods are not good for Twitch. So all I did was make it a little more realistic. All I'm gonna say to that. Okay. Um, I can't show it on Twitch because the Sims they have most of the control. All right. I only guide them. Anyways, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and make some wrinkles here. Well, yeah, Enzoy, yeah, we're gonna play that. I have it on my wish list. I don't know when I'm gonna get it though. I have a lot of games already that I haven't tried, and I was thinking about just streaming them and just saving them for the stream, so I always have something to stream if I feel like streaming. But yeah, we'll see because we play a lot of stuff that are like endless. So eventually we'll get to them. That's not really good. Did you see Grounded 2 comes out next month? I did see that they brought that back. That is very interesting. I didn't play Grounded 1 though. I didn't get a chance to play that. Once you gave it, you y'all didn't play it for very long, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't get it because they're not even playing it anymore. When I finally did consider getting it, I was like, well, they already stopped playing it, so I might as well not get it. I was gonna play it with you guys. Besides, there's Power World also that I gotta get back into. Can't really put this much effort into the elbows before, but you know, like I said, our powers have doubled since the last time. Again, we reference things that we don't really care for. Star Wars. Anyways. All right. Crease sharp. Let's try. Did I say crease? Did I do crease sharp? Oh, draw sharp. Okay, that's where we messed up at. And you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just lower the strength a little bit. Trying to get the. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, the alpha that I have is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes to this kind of detail, and that's more along the lines of micro details. So I'm just laying in the work now, just so we have something there as a sort of a placeholder. It's sort of like having like normally when I was learning how to do this, by now we would have test in a test environment, test lighting, test textures, just to get an idea of how things would look, and it kind of helps you a little bit. But I am at the point where I feel like I don't need to do that. My character is more or less the way I want it. So, but if you're doing like an actual likeness of a person, all those things are useful. Things that aren't really up for debate. You know, if you're doing say like if you're doing a I don't know a likeness of Al Pacino, then you want to stick to that as close as possible. And having all of the lighting and all that stuff will help you kind of get an idea of you know the form and how the shadows cast on the person's face if you're trying to go for hyperrealism. That is, this is a made up character, so even though we are trying to lock down you know of the final concept. This is as close as this can get to the original concept that I drew. Okay. And I did draw this guy. Let's see. Here's the concept of this guy. Here's a brief concept. That's what he's supposed to look like. That's like a younger version of him though. This person, this right here, he's like a middle-aged person. But it's more or less it's about the same. So there's a little bit of minor differences like his ears, but that's basically the basic concept. Actually, they kind of look different. That's okay. Don't worry about it. This is the final concept. Okay, that was just I just drew that. You know, I just drew it. He's gonna look like that though. All right. Let me see. My issue with it was everyone kept playing when I wasn't, and I couldn't keep. I thought it was just you and I don't know who else was playing. I know you and Judicious was playing it though. They just gave me shit to catch up, and I felt like I wasn't involved, just like Borderlands. Yeah, I didn't play Borderlands with y'all because I didn't have any of the DLC. I just had the vanilla. I only bought it to play with y'all. I didn't know about all the DLC, and I didn't feel like buying it, so I just tried like a couple of the hours of it and then just put it away forever. I didn't actually never beat Borderlands, and I've only played about 2 hours of it. Actually, you know what? Let me see exactly. You know, this is another segue. I'm sorry. I just want to see real quick my game time in Borderlands was exactly. And what do you know? When as soon as I started up, Borderlands franchise sale, Borderlands 2 free giveaway offer ends June 8 at 10 a.m. Oh, we missed that. Why are they showing me that? Thanks. Thanks for letting me know beforehand. We already have Borderlands 2 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see, Borderlands. Or did I remove that from my list? I think I did. I'm gonna put that back on. There's no reason for me to remove anything on my list. I don't know what the heck I was on in the past. But there were games that I was sure I was never going to play, so I just removed them from my list. But I already have the game, so what the heck? Why did I do that? What kind of state of mind was I in? I question this every day. In the past, I don't know what the heck. Sometimes some of the things I've said or done, I do not know why I did these things. It's like a different person was piloting my body. What happened? What did I do? What have I done? I don't know, man. I'm okay though. I'm not, I'm not. I don't have any mental conditions. I feel pretty okay. It's just I don't know. I just question my past actions sometimes. Um. Anyways, Yeah, so it's a little. I mean, the area could be smaller. You can really just do whatever you want with this. It doesn't really matter. But that's pretty much you're gonna find like a little bit of wrinkle area right there on the skin. Okay, yeah, I didn't. Oh, let me finish. Okay, my. Then Judd and I tried doing it, but he knew everything about the game and kind of lowered my hype. I wish I liked Borderlands more. Bounced off super hard. Yeah, I only got it to play with y'all, and you guys were like, or actually, I think it was just Dune Walker and Knowledge. They were like heavy into it. I didn't want to make the investment. Besides, I think at the time we were playing League and maybe Warframe. So there was always those to fall back on, and Team Fortress and whatever else we got into in those days, Terraria, things like that, which was the start of my survival games journey, Terraria. I didn't realize how similar it was to Minecraft until I actually played Minecraft. I was like, oh, okay, they got all that stuff from Minecraft. Got you. It's kind of an overlap now because Minecraft has Terraria items mods, and I think there's a vice versa. Yeah, I asked you why. I asked you why when you did that. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird, man. It was a very weird time in gaming. And at the time, I was boycotting things. I was like, man, I'm not buying this stuff anymore. Look what they're doing. And then, like I said, I think I brought that up with Capcom. I wasn't in, I wasn't vibing with Capcom at the time for what they did to Resident Evil 6. And I was like, I'm not buying any more Capcom games. And then, once they started releasing more bangers, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and slink right on back. I was like, what's the point of that? Okay, now I just go by the this is my mantra now. Okay, if it's fun, I'll play it. That's all. That's all that really matters in the end. I don't have time to be mad at a video game or a video game company. Besides, now we're poised to be able to try our hand at making a video game, and we can see how we like it. See how we like that game. Probably gonna suck, but we'll see. I'm not gonna release it until I'm absolutely sure that it's decent enough for other people to play it. All right, we're not gonna put a practice game on a market or on the online for people to play. We're gonna have a finished product because it's as someone said in some TV show, my name is my name. Okay, we don't want to release bad products. When you buy Ace products, you're buying the ballerist, if that's a word. you're you're buying Ballermania. Bro is chiseled. Yeah, I know. I went a little too far with the muscles, but that's okay. Welcome in, Noctarks. How you doing today? I hope you had a great weekend. Um, when I individually sculpt the muscles, this is what happens. One day we're gonna get to a point where we have better control over that. This character is going to be used as a reference, and I'm making a web comic, and you're not going to be able to see that with it because he'll be fully clothed for like the duration of the story. This is the stuff that I added, so this is how I can tell where I messed up at. I actually beefed up his triceps and his biceps and a little bit of his where his shoulders connect with his pecs a little bit and they stick out of his clothes somewhat. We're gonna fix that. As a matter of fact, I could probably fix it right now. I'll fix it later. I can fix it. Right. I'm just trying to stay focused on one thing at a time here. But yeah, he's very chiseled. That's something that I got to work on. Admittedly, definitely something I got to work on. Let's see here. But yeah, when you buy my products, you're getting the Ballervania seal of approval. That's a personal pledge that you bought something worth your time. Okay, not even buy. I don't know. I guess you know what I'm saying though. Your time is money. Your time is my money. All right, and I want to make sure that when I do get into game dev that we're gonna give it our all right, we're gonna do the best that we can. That's what counts in the end, just do the best you can. We're not looking for a cash grab here. We're looking This is more, it's gonna be mainly for learning, but I do have an idea. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. We got some triceps there. Kind of move that out. So we gotta kind of put that down. We gotta smooth this down, and we gotta smooth this down. I think it's a little too horizontal too. It should be more like upward. It should be going up a little bit more. So I think I'm going to go in the head and just try to see if we can get that going. Let's try a bigger radius. I know there's a shortcut for that, but this is how I learned how to do it. It's hard for me to break habits sometimes. There's shortcuts for everything. I only use a handful of them. I'll grab the cash. Don't worry. You don't catch it. I'll grab it. I'm excited to try to do a game dev. I just got to learn. I already have the learning material. I just got to learn it. That's all I got to do. Once I once I figure out how to animate the rigging armature that I know how to do. Um, I did it manually one time. I'm doing an automatic rigging add-on. Okay, I did it manually and I tested that rig in Unity once already. It worked. It worked perfectly. But I mean, the character didn't have clothing, but it worked perfectly. So we just got to do that again, but in a different engine and in with clothes on and everything that comes with that. We got to do it one more time, and then I think I'll be good after that. Because then, um, at the very least, I could use mocap animations. But I'm going to learn how to manually animate myself once my other sculpt that I'm doing off stream is ready. So we'll see how that goes. It's coming along just fine. It's right behind this one. I just did my first character and rig. Oh, congratulations! That's awesome. I'm trying to get well. I've done the rig, but for it's mainly the face. I have it so that I can rig the eyebrows and pretty much all of this around the eyes, the eyebrows, the brow, and even go beyond that and kind of just grab the face and stretch it. However, because I want to be able to show like draw the emotions on the page of my webcomic. So it's just the only problem is I think because I use the snapping tool up here to arrange the bones should I think if I put the bones actually in the face instead of on top, they'll work better. We'll see because I came to that conclusion because I rigged um, my last two and they were all rigged differently in the face. So I think that's what's causing it. We're gonna find out. What kind of character did you do? You do humans too, or is it like an animal or anthropomorphic or anything like that? I'm weird, but once I get that going, I'm gonna start practicing the animation, and once I'm confident with that, then we'll see what happens after that. See what happens after that. But yeah, it's pretty fun. The rigging is super easy. It's just I don't want. I'm trying not to do it manually because that's almost as long as retopology. So freehanded the chisel, man. Oh, nice. That's pretty much what I'm. Well, I don't know about. Yeah, I don't know. You mean like What do you mean? Oh yeah, you mean like just manually the bones, like manual bones? That took a very long time for me to do, but I did it. It worked perfectly too. And then it's just a matter of coming over here in the area and locking down the bones in whatever XY position so that the character moves like an actual human instead of like Dowsum from Street Fighter. Because that can't happen. You can just grab the hand and just stretch it all the way, and it'll keep going. It'll just stretch. I was like, oh yeah, that's how they do Dowsum, huh? Just you want him to punch over there? No problem. Just grab his hand and just pull it all the way over like Stretch Armstrong. He'll do it, and his arm will stretch that far and further as far as you want. You can just grab the hand and just twist it all the way around if you want. It's do whatever you want once it's rigged. But yeah, I mean, I got the body. The body works fine. It's just the little minute details in the face is where I'm having some slight issues. I want to have 100% full control of the face so I can draw emotions better and quicker. That's my goal anyway. I'm gonna try to figure that out once we get there on this character. Okay. Let's see here. What we can do is kind of. Oops, that is not what we want to do. That's also not what we want to do. It would help if we did the right brush. I kind of want to just accentuate these wrinkles a little bit. But yeah, I've been using Rigify because it's much quicker. It's like a couple hours of work, and I just hope that I can get that to work in a game engine. That's basically the only thing that I'm having trouble with as far as this whole workflow is concerned. If I can get that done, then I can complete all of the remaining sculpts and then just start practicing animation. So we'll see. It's kind of where I'm at. I didn't do any kind of face rig, only body. Yeah, when I was practicing the entire face, that's how I started too. Like I don't even think I could move the jaw. I was able to rig the eyes though to like move around. You can rig the eyes to kind of look whichever way. I had that working, but the rest of the face I don't think that moved. Did the jaw move? I think the jaw did move. I got the jaw to move, but I couldn't do facial expressions, which led me to where I'm at now. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted that. It's just I guess we're just reaching for the the stars on this one. It seems like every time I do this, I add something onto it. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, I want to do this now. And now we're looking at shape keys, so that way, when I bend the arm, I can flex the muscles as well. That's going to be my next goal to do that as well. Do I need that for the webcomic? No, I just want to learn how to do it, just to make my rigs better, more realistic. I already know how to do jiggle physics. That's easy. That was actually very easy to learn. But I want to do shape keys next. That's where we're at. I just want to try to situate a little. We don't have to put that many. I'm gonna do an alpha. I'm gonna put an alpha in this area to try to make it look more wrinkly. I think we are good. All right, this needs to come out more. This is very flat. It shouldn't be that way. I'm gonna take the clay strips, beat this up a little bit. Just want to. Oh wow, it's very very strong. Although we could have actually worked with that, but sometimes when I see that shape, it's like, oh wow, that's not very natural. We can make it look however we want though. So just put it out a little bit. It's still a little wide. I don't know. It might be a little too wide. How far back can we go? I only have the undo steps at like around 10, just so I can learn how to fix my mistakes better. I used to have them at 255, so that way I could just undo it. If I did something wrong, I could just undo it. But I'm trying to actually improve, so I have the undo steps at 10. If I can't undo anything past that, then I have to fix it manually. It's been helpful a little bit. I might take the steps down to 5 to be honest. And I think keeping track of all of that is easier on your system. So if you have any problems with lag, you could look towards the undo steps, and that might alleviate some of the lag for you. If you use a pre-made body, would it be faster to make the Tattles rig pre-made? Um, yeah, of course. Yeah, I used to when I first that was one of my sculpts was done with a pre-made body at first because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to start from a sphere and then make a body. We don't have that problem anymore, obviously. But one of my sculpts is actually done from a pre-made body, and all I did was just like sculpt over top of that. undo steps, take RAM space. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't really have any problems with lag. 'Cause I built this system specifically to. Once I had an idea, I was like, okay, this really all I have to do is just get better at what I'm doing here, and then um, I think there was some lag, but I was just doing it on the computer that I already had. I was like, okay, well, let me just. I decided to build a rig that could handle this more, so I did that. I did this. I built the rig for it for Blender basically, and any kind of other rendering that I want to do. Uh, let me pull that arm back. Yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. Let's rig this up. So yeah, yeah. When the numbers got really high, I think no. I think when I had my first rig done with physics also, yeah, it was a little choppy. I think it was a little choppy when I was moving everything around, and I was like, okay, well, let me just do some upgrades and see. And the 4090 had just come out, so I was like, yeah, okay, let's try that. And I did that. I was gonna get a Quattro because I think that's just specifically for 3D rendering, but I decided to get something that I could also play games on too. So it's a little bit of a catch-all thing. Although I mean, at this point, I don't know. Next time I build something, I might just build straight up a workstation for 3D for just 3D only, just to see how far we can take it. But I don't know. It's just it's not really needed though. I had this what I have here is enough. I'm gonna try to shape this to make it a little bit more natural looking. It looks like a weird thing going here. Like somebody just took a bar and just put it in his arm. But yeah, I've been enjoying learning 3D. Pretty dang fun. More fun than I thought it would be. Wasn't sure if I could do it, if I could pull it off, but I don't know why I thought that. Maybe it's because it was new and I just didn't have an idea. I was like just looking at people's sculpts on ArtStation. I think what really caused it was someone had done an Akuma from Street Fighter, and I saw it and I was like, man, I would like to learn how to do that, and that kind of started it. And I had seen it more than once. It was this one. It was this one specifically. I'm gonna show you. Can I see the full image? You know what? That's fine. It was this here. This one. I was looking for a reference. I don't remember what it was, but I saw this on ArtStation. And I was like, man, I was like, if I could do one of my characters in 3D, and that would be the perfect reference. And that's kind of what started this whole thing. It was this specific one. And it was like a couple of after running into it for like the second or third time, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was making like martial arts characters for my story, and it kind of I don't remember what I was looking at. Maybe it was like the type of gi or something. I was like, oh, I need to see a reference of a gi or something or something like that. I don't know. I actually don't remember exactly what I was looking for, but it was something along those lines. If I had to guess, and yeah, never thought of myself as an artsy person, but the donut made me fall in love. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people start there, but I wanted to jump in and try to learn how to do a person. And it was extremely hard to figure out how to do that because lots of people don't have, oh hey, just create a character right here, right, easy, on YouTube. They'll it's like an idea. It's something that people usually charge for. So but I figured it out and I was able to do it. That was a little hard to find on YouTube, but I you can find a donut. I almost wanted to do the. I was like, no, you know what? Let's go straight for the person. Let's go for a human character and just go from there. I believed that I could do it. I really wish I had my first sculpt though. It looked like a really low rent Majora's Mask. It was just a sphere with like a face barely carved in it, and I saw it, and I was like, I don't know, and I just deleted it. But I wish I had kept it because I would show you it right now. Just to show you my first sculpt. That's sort of the shape that your forearm. Well, actually, this guy's forearm's kind of jacked. I should probably stop because we're just making him more jacked. I still got all my first models. Yeah, I only deleted the very first one because it was just a sphere with a face carved in it. But I have the second one and onwards. I have all of them except for the first one. I should have kept the first one though. That's the one regret. And I don't really destroy all like my digital art. This is something that I used to do, when I was younger, when I drew something and I wasn't satisfied with it, I would just destroy it. I wish I didn't do that, but that was the only time in the digital space that I did that. I have everything that I've ever drawn in Photoshop, Clip Studio on my computer right now, and all my sculpts too, except for the very first one because I didn't see the point in keeping it, but I should have kept it. When at the time that I started doing this, I wasn't planning on streaming it. I wanted to return to streaming one day because I did used to stream way back. I did some very rare streams, and it was just me just streaming in a game with barely no commentary or camera. And I was like, well, one day I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write my story though. And I took some years from away from streaming and did my story. But yeah, I didn't plan on streaming 3D art. I was going to wait until I had a very good grasp of it, and then just stream myself drawing the pages. It was like really just on a whim that I decided, well, why don't I just stream myself learning this stuff? Well, actually, I already did like 3 or 4 sculpts before I started streaming it, but so it's not really like I didn't have any clue what was happening. I was streaming it. It was me. It's really just me refining what I already know more and more as time goes on. Not so much learning, I guess. I mean, I guess you could call it learning. There are some things I did learn while streaming it, so it's valid, but not in the sense that I just don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to get rid of all this brush strokes I left in this arm. Let's see. I want to make them have Popeye arms. I guess that's the. Yeah, we got to bring it in a little bit. I don't feel skilled enough to stream my art. I can confirm Aries destroyed books worth of art. I used to make comics back in the day, and these guys would rag on my art. It was all in jest. It wasn't like mean spirit or anything. We did that to each other. But if I felt like it wasn't good enough, I would just destroy it. A lot of my art I gave away, though, and it ended up destroyed. But yeah, I wish I had kept all of it. I don't remember every single character that I drew. I remember most of them, but I don't remember all of them. Well, not it. I don't know. I mean, I would say just do it and don't worry about it. Like here. I mean, I've made mistakes on stream. It's if nothing else is it has given me streaming my art has given me a lot of confidence because I'm not afraid of making mistakes. It helped me get over that stuff, and I was like kind of already over it because I used to post my art online a lot, and it was always it was very it was it's I don't know, it was uncharacteristically difficult getting critique. I didn't get a lot of critique, at least not on DeviantArt. I don't really mess with DeviantArt anymore. I'm not on that site, but I've got some decent critique on Newgrounds, and I took it to heart. And it kind of helped me get over it a little bit. But streaming is will definitely help you get over that. You just stream it anyway. Don't worry about it making a mistake or something not being good enough. That's kind of the reason why I say these are like it's me. This is me learning art because if I do make a mistake, then I'm going to figure out how to fix it. If I don't know how to fix it, like I get it. Like if I had to self critique, yeah, I need to work on like my anatomy needs to be refined a little bit. But let's see what else. Proportions, clothing, definitely. You know, it just helps me acknowledge what I'm doing wrong, and I think that's a nice step in learning how to get better. Because you know, you have anybody and like literally anyone could come in and lay eyes on this. You know, at the worst time, and it's not something that I care about anymore. Like, oh no, like oh you know I'm not. This isn't good enough, and you know somebody could see that. But what I'm trying to say is that streaming could help you could help you get over um your confidence. You know, it could help you. It can help you boost your confidence. I mean, these guys like you didn't also what. I did say that. Yeah, I said we all did it. I said we all did it. It wasn't mean spirited. Well, at least I don't think it was. I don't know. I never took it seriously. Um, but it wasn't mean spirited. It was you know, it was all in jest. I did say that. I said that I did it too. I guess we just didn't gloss. We just glossed over that, huh? That I put myself in that. I'm not gonna try to control the narrative. Okay, I will freely acknowledge if I did something. If I participated in something, you know, like that. Okay, I've already done it. I've done it many times on stream. Okay, he's just getting stronger by the hour. We have to stop. This is the male equivalent of escalation. Okay, we have to get the point across quicker. All right, that's a critique. That's another self critique. Okay, we're making his muscles stronger and stronger, trying to correct them. It's the same thing when I'm trying to get like a woman's form down. I sometimes I accidentally over define her breast and butt, and we've already seen that I've had that problem somewhat carried over to you know guys too. All right, we're not at the female characters yet. That's coming. Okay, I know I've done a lot of dudes. That it's just only because of how they appear in the story. Sorry. Okay, it's 1972. They're in Cambodia. They're in the U.S. Army. There wasn't women in those positions back in the day like there are now, unless you were you know, if I was telling a story from the side of Vietnam, then yes, they had women soldiers, but we didn't really have them like that. Not like today, okay. But yeah, it's they're coming. All right. If anyone out there is wondering, I'm not just drawing dudes. I'm just you know I'm just trying to do it in a way that is going to help me do the pages faster. So let's yeah I guess that's fine. I mean let me zoom up. Let me zoom out all the way. His his forearm should come in a little bit. So I'm gonna push now everything that I have done inward a little bit because they're a little too beefy. He's looking like Luke from Street Fighter 6. Come on, come on. But yeah, I'm just telling you that I have this problem with women too. It just sometimes I overdevelop their body and I think if I had to critique because I'm doing a female character for my animation practice, I think her feet are a little too large. I might be able to fix that. Like her feet are this size, and it's and maybe this guy's feet might be a little too big too. Now this is the orthographic view. I think it makes their heads look small. I know this their heads are fine. But it always seems like their heads are a little too small. Looking back, it could be just because of the. I noticed that my clothes seem to add more bulk on the character, and it kind of throws me off a little bit, throws off my proportions. So I have to look at them without the clothes on sometimes and try to get an idea of the proportion. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. That's something that I do have to work on, but I think in this case, it's okay. I don't think the heads are too small. Let me see. Wow. Let me see something. That's good enough. Let's see. One. Oh, don't do that. Two, three. I'm trying to go by where the circle lands at. Four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, yeah, maybe his head is too small. It should be about 7 to 8, maybe 8.5 heads tall, and we're approaching 10. It doesn't seem like his proportions are off though. Just looking at him, I don't know. Maybe that was a terrible way to to try to get his proportions. The best thing to do would be to just to take his head, duplicate it, and then just do. Yeah, he should be about 7 heads tall, 7.5 heads tall. I think I could have sworn I did. I did check his proportions. I'm checking him again, but I did it in a way that it's dumb. It's that you shouldn't do it that way. Don't do what I just did. Basically, take the head, duplicate it, and then just duplicate it 7 more times, and then just put it to the side here and see how big your character is. That's how you do that. Okay. I'm sure the proportions are good, but we still got to work on them because they could be off. Anyway, trying to see his arm here. Is his arm still got Popeye arms? Maybe. I'm just trying to reduce them without, affecting the shape. It's basically what I'm trying to do right now. I'm not going to worry about redefining anything in his underwear currently. And basically, what we just did, we're going to do again for the knee. And this knee looks, that might be a little bit weird, I guess. Let's see. Uh, Grab. Okay. What I'm going to try to do here is kind of make his knee a little bit more triangular here, and then kind of define the upper and lower, right, basically where the bones meet in the kneecap a little bit, and then maybe add some wrinkles there too. That's my next thing here that we're gonna try to do. I think his back is overdeveloped. I'm just gonna leave it alone because I feel like if I try to do anything, it's just either gonna it's gonna mess it up. I'll just have him just be strong. Okay, he's just gonna be really strong. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. We'll be all right. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to bring these in a little bit. Matter of fact, let's look at the side view, orthographic view. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we can angle them just a little bit more. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. I was just about to say. I don't think I followed. the references too well. I definitely over designed his body. I was just looking at that. I was looking at the calf, and I was about to say, I was like, yeah, I think his calves are too big too. Like his calf should be, it should, it should like, if you picture this as a mountain, it should apex like right here, and then just kind of taper off back into the leg. We can actually fix this. If I grab it from here and kind of push it in a little bit, yeah, yeah, it's definitely a even the like my last sculpt was kind of like a heavy set person. Even he was like E Honda almost. I was like, I gotta do this a little better. Okay, we gotta. I should be able to draw, more fatty deposit people. More softer, thicker people, without making them like super. They just have an extra layer of fat over their ripped bodies. That's where we got to work on that. Okay, we're not like we're acknowledging that right now. It's good though. It's good. This is helpful. It's helpful to be able. This is what I was talking about. It's helpful to be able to see these things. You see them better on stream because somebody could also see it. So it kind of allows you to see things you wouldn't normally see when you like say if you're just drawing in your own privacy. I'm just gonna grab this and oops, that was not the goal. Why don't we just kind of push this in? I'm trying to make this a little bit more angled. Yeah, you're not gonna notice because he's gonna be fully clothed. It's okay. That's why I'm kind of like okay, yeah, but we definitely got to work on that. We got to work on drawing regular bodies and not superhero bodies. I've been doing that all my life though. I'll be the first to admit I've only drawn ripped people and people who are just well endowed, like male and female. I've done that, and I'm trying to draw more varied body types. Okay. Matter of fact, I can. Hold on. Let me show you something. I'm gonna save it because, like I said, Blender sometimes gets a little finicky when you draw or when you open up more than one window. It's loading. Come on. Uh-oh. Show it to me. Come on. I just want to show it real quick. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. Exit that. Now will you load? Close it. Okay, yeah. It's not going to do it this time. Hold on. I got to reopen Blender. Okay. Yeah, all right. We got it. We're back. Just get rid of that. All right. This is the last sculpt that I did, okay? I'm going to give you an example. I think I made this guy. Yeah, I didn't. I had to blow him up to do the rig. That's one problem I have with the meta rig. Um, put the underwear back on. Oops. Yeah, see, this is what I did. I was trying to make a. I guess that's fine. Well, I mean, this is like low. Hold on, let me just put it back. Yeah, there we go. It's actually not that bad. Well, hold on. Let me take a look at his. When I first started this sculpt, he had this gut, but he was still ripped. He was still kind of ripped. Okay. But this is example of a body type that isn't super duper ripped. This is, by the way, this is what I was trying to do. I think I overdid it with his with his. This is this is how it gets rendered, I guess. All right, whatever. You can't really see it there because of the lighting. All right, so now now I know I can't really do that. I can't really make that over design. I actually didn't notice that until just now. It's okay though. But this is where we're heading towards. Yeah, when I first started this, he was E Honda basically, and I kind of softened him up over time. It covers too much area, the wrinkly skin, but that's basically what I'm trying to do now. We're working on that, but that's an example. Okay, the last yeah, when I was doing it, he was way strong. I guess I fixed it. I don't know. It doesn't actually look that bad now that I'm looking at it, but it didn't start that way. Okay, yeah, now we're back. Looks better than most PS5 games. Really? You would think so? I remember being traumatized for the roast from Core when I drew overweight people. Oh, really? Man, I don't remember half the things that were said. I kind of do. Like, I remember some of the stuff that I said. I can't repeat it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to repeat it because it's pretty bad. But yeah, we did. We said a lot of things. I did not. I don't think there was an in between. It was like I don't think, actually. You know what? Back then, I don't think I had any like overweight characters. They were all just ripped up. And I'm trying to get out of that now. That's an example of that. I wanted to avoid doing same face characters because I mean, while it's fine if anyone else does it, I don't want that for my art. When I see that, it makes me not want to do it. Makes me not want to do things like that. Oh yeah, tricep. Tricep was a very, very, very bad joke. Basically, tricep was like a he was like a fake Hulk, I guess. He was just made that way. Like I don't I guess I didn't really work on his story, but basically he was there were two people. It was called one was called bicep, the other one was called tricep, and they were like genetically enhanced freaks. They were enhanced all the way to the point where they're like just these big, strong people, and they were basically like my Hulk stand-ins. So stupid. And then I vilified one. I made him like a giant like predator, I guess. And I made fun of characters by it was like it was a parody then, but he would attack other characters in very not savory ways. The Hulk mixed with the Undertaker. Yeah, yeah, because I think at the time I created that character, it was when Hulk had the long hair and Undertaker kind of wears his hair the same way, where it's like the hair comes over the face like the Undertaker. It was like that. I was definitely inspired by that because Undertaker was one of my well, actually, I think that was at the time one of my favorite, if not my favorite wrestler. It's like just dark macabre stuff is kind of what I grew up liking. So I wasn't a character. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It wasn't just characters that were, parodied. It was us too. It was like the artists themselves. Yeah. Right, right. Yes. Thank you. I should. I wasn't purposefully leaving that out. I just didn't say anything because I wasn't thinking of it in that way. But yes, we parodied each other too. Don't worry, it'll be all right. It was very early. I don't know. I mean, I guess they still had that stuff on Newgrounds now, but it was very definitely in that same vein of Newgrounds humor. We were doing that stuff already, even before we even heard of Newgrounds. I guess that's something that just teenagers just do in general, just have that kind of sense of humor. All right, so what I'm doing now is kind of shaping the leg a little bit. We were Newgrounds kids before internet, yeah, basically. Although Newgrounds was out for a long time. That was actually started in 1995. I I didn't hear of it until 2000. It was already 5 years on at that point. But Yeah, pretty much. And in the same state that we live in, no less. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, the similarities. I just wish I had a computer back then. I would have learned how to do this stuff a lot sooner if I did. Well, I don't know if you could do if you could just do 3D animation from the comfort of your own home back then, but I mean, Photoshop did exist, so at least you could do animation. I did dabble in it a little bit over a friend's house on computer. I made like a little short animation. It was very easy for me to do back then, and I had done flip books at that point, but I forget the process of just doing an animation on Photoshop. It was something that I just, at back then we could do things like that on a whim, but now I wouldn't have the slightest clue how to do an animation on that. I think you could just do you could just have the frames in a layer or the layers in a frame. Sorry, and just, well, I mean, I've done that now, but I wouldn't have thought to have done that unless I, learned how to do it. But I guess you could just do frames in layers in a frame and then just arrange them in the specific order. At least that's how I would do it now. I don't know if I did it like that back then. I actually don't remember. I don't know if that's any better. I mean, it still looks very ripped, but and this should be a little bit more rounded. I have it like going straight. It's just very, very little minor like anatomy and proportion things that I need to work on. That I see it more every time when I go over it. I see all the things that I just didn't catch the first time. But I guess that's just what comes with looking at stuff with fresh eyes after a couple days, or in this case a few weeks. I wanted to be faster than this. I was when I started, I was doing these in about 2 weeks, I think. I want to try to shorten that time. That's only because I was taking my time with it, and I was only doing it on stream. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff off stream. But I'm gonna change that once I get this whole thing done. Then I would have the entire process recorded, and then I can just kind of speed up a little bit. So if anyone asks, "Hey, what did you use for reference?" And I'm like, "Oh, this here. I did this. I just made my own reference in 3D. Here's the entire process of what I did right over there on an archive channel, and then that's my thing there." Do we want to? Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit more rounded now. There's the Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, my bad. I'm just trying to correct some things here. Uh-oh. I think what I'm gonna do is kind of smooth that out. Maybe it's coming up a little bit little too high there. There should be like a I guess that would be where the hamstrings kind of connect, like right here. That's what this line is for. At least I think that's what I was going for. Whoa, that's a lot. Let's go ahead and just bring that down some. It's probably part of it too. The brush effect might have been a little too strong, and that's why it looks so freaking ripped. It's too many lines. I don't want to sketch in the things. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to stroke. You just basically just go into the tool settings and hit stabilize stroke, and that way we can just kind of just draw the line a little bit of a smoother line. Something like that. That is a very defined line for a human, so we got to kind of smooth that out a little bit. And there should be another side to it. Look at the back of a leg here. There's a second line on this side that kind of comes like that, and that line is sort of there. I guess it kind of got lost in the rendering a little bit when I used the shrink wrap. Man, if we had internet, the online art beef rivalries our group would have had, we would have been probably like, I don't know, everything we would have done would have just been known to the world. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Like I'm not, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what we did was what we did, But here we can shape our art journey from the beginning however we want. But if we would have been around back then, there would have been a lot of stuff that would have been like, there's a lot of things that we would have had to own. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that would have been a good thing. It's still a little. Well, I don't know about this. I'm trying to have it because it kind of follows the shape of the bone a little bit. It comes down and it kind of goes out. Like you can kind of see the shape of the basically the front of the kneecap here a little bit. Oh, sorry, the top of the femur and whatever that bone is down there. I don't really remember the two bones. But I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying. That line kind of follows that shape just ever so slightly. It's not really supposed to be that apparent though. But girl, it's kind of a little too yeah, like that. Okay, there we go. It's still a little bit off. I say what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna continue the line like that, and then we'll just kind of erase it a little bit. Not erase it, but smooth it out. It doesn't have. We don't have to go into this much detail. Like we're not following a likeness. This is a made up person. I'm just doing this just for the practice of getting the anatomy right for the future, so it doesn't become a problem. I don't have to like do a lot of corrections and like I don't know like 6 7 sculpts from now because I think I'll have it down by then, maybe even before then. At least that's my hope anyway. I don't know. I actually don't know for sure. Uh, I just try to do every sculpt better than the last. So let's see where we're going here. Okay, I think we can go back to the front of the knee and finish working on that. Now I'm remembering what I did on the other guy. We put the wrinkledness all over his knee. I saw that. I peeped what I did there, and all over his elbow. His elbow, this entire area was covered in wrinkles, and I think it may have been a little bit over to the left a little bit, if I remember correctly. That means we were not following the anatomy references as closely as we should have been. I'm making a mental note of that so that way we can do it better this time and going forward. I'm gonna try to bring this in so it's a little bit more bulbous. It kind of goes out, and it should go out only this far and then start moving back in. So I can probably move this knee in a little bit more, and I want to have this side match the same way. So just gonna do that like so. Okay, basically what we're doing here. I have to do this for the body and the clothes too. The clothes shouldn't be that bad. Oh wait, I actually didn't put the shrink wrap on the clothes yet. But we're just basically just going to be redefining the wrinkles and the shape, and it should go faster than this. It's just the body has a lot of detail in it. Just as long as the hands and the face are good, because he'll be clothed, it should be fine. But I'm just making sure that just in case, I don't know, his knee is showing for a panel or something, we can accurately reference it. I don't, like I said, I don't think he's ever in a state of undress in the course of the story. But just in case there's something that I forgot, we'll be covered. We'll have it covered, and we'll know how to sculpt a knee properly in the future. Speaking of Baki, I think I've only seen one of the original movies before they redid it on Netflix. I haven't seen that thing yet. It was just one of the movies, or I guess we call it what, an OVA or something like that. I don't even remember what happened. He was just in some kind of tournament, and because that's like the majority of the show, right? Of him being in some kind of tournament. At least that's my guess. I actually didn't watch the show, but I've only seen one of the movies. Now I don't remember. I think in the movie he tied his nerves together because they got severed. I remember that because that was something, that's not how nerves work, and that's just something that stood out. Yeah. I didn't know anything about his father or any of the other characters or anything like that. That was my introduction to Baki. Was one of that movie where he did that. There's a movie where he does that, and that's the movie that I had. It's very old though. It's I think it's a '90s film. I don't know. It has that style though, kind of like that Yu Yu Hakusho style, but more muscles. I guess I don't know if I had to compare it to. That's what it reminded me of. I don't know if that's an accurate comparison though. Okay, let me see. Stop there. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to put put the detail around here that kind of defines his kneecap a little bit more. I think yeah, that's fine. Maybe I should bring his quad down a little bit too. I think there's a little bit too much muscle separation right here. He super dehydrated himself while he was pumping iron, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we got to work on that for our muscular characters. Just make like more less superhero bodies. I get what happened there. Don't know, but I could just control Z it. All right, I'm gonna work on the knee now. I'm just gonna try to give it a little bit more rounder shape, just right there. Just oops. You know what? Let's not do the sideways strokes. Try to have it follow the form that it's supposed to be in. I'll leave that there. It was a little too diagonal, but whatever. Yeah, the quad should come down a little bit more, right? I hope these purport. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to try to bring this down some. And we'll kind of keep these two like separate groups like that. We'll keep those separate. Kind of have it converge in on the knee a little bit. I'm probably going to end up just making it look even stronger. We got to just one day I'm gonna fix it. Okay, one day we're going to be able to do things like this without just adding more muscles. I keep doing it. I can feel myself heading towards that direction already. Kind of just have it kind of just like a triangular shape right there. Okay, I guess that's fine. Just look in here. Okay. Let me make the thing a little bit smaller. There's just like a little bit of, I guess that will be a tendon, or at least where the muscles, the shin the muscles on the front, try to connect right there. So I have the basic shapes of the muscle there, but then we start building them out a little bit more. They get more prominent. It makes them look super yoked. We don't want that. Well, I mean, it's fine, but he's not supposed to be this strong. I just kind of messed up. I try to keep them as close to the original concept that I have as I can. I'm failing at that, but it's fine. As long as we have a decent sculpt here, we can always just make last minute adjustments right there on the page. Just go ahead and try to smooth this out here. Yeah, yep. His quads just look stronger. I'm sorry, I messed up. What that was not the intent. You should be able to draw what you intend, right? Apparently, I intended for him to be even stronger than before. Come on. All right, let me just kind of just. Even his knees look stronger. I'm gonna smooth this out some. Just keep going here. Oh, okay. So I should definitely just bring this in a little bit. I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit more. Hmm. Oh, this. You want this area to be more rounded because that's like the shape of a shin. And we can kind of leave this in because I do believe that it's there on an actual leg. It's like a little bit of a separation between the shin and the calf right there on the side. It might be a little bit too far forward. So maybe if I just up the radius, use the grab tool, and kind of just push it back a little bit, hopefully without deforming the leg too much, or just at all. Really, we don't really want to deform it at all. Okay. Smooth this out. I'm gonna smooth out his shin a little bit more. I don't think his legs are extra, or his legs aren't super straight here. Well, no, that's actually good. Just this part right here, I think it kind of bends inward a little too much. Let's see here, kind of just push this in some. Just trying to make it nice and straight. Okay. All right. His calf now should stop about right there. For some reason, I brought it all the way down. So let's fix that. Oh, I see why that was like that. Yeah, I was already trying to fix it. That's why it was kind of bolding. I don't know. For some reason, I stopped. It should stop about right here. So I'm just gonna just kind of just even it all the way out. How long is the stream? I'm going to stop at noon. That was my normal starting time. I'm going to try to start earlier tomorrow. I have the entire morning for however I don't know for however long this. I'm not really sure how long it's going to last, but we're going to try to stick to our original time for the foreseeable future until that changes again. I don't know. I know it's going to change. I just don't know when. I'm just trying to enjoy this while it lasts. But yes, at noon. And it's probably going to be the same for tomorrow, too. That's a little bit closer. Yeah, his knees looks, his quads look even more stronger now. Tomorrow morning, I may be a little busy. I'll join as much. Oh, that's no problem, 99. I'm just drawing here. That's all. This is the time where I can do it. So, ideally, if I had any kind of control over this, I would do this like in the afternoon, maybe up until the evening, but I can only stream in the mornings, right? On during weekday days. So, I mean, I get that, there's going to be people who are either sleeping or at work or doing whatever they normally do in the morning, so it's okay. I understand. It's just the nature of streaming in the morning. I may stream tomorrow afternoon. All right, no problem. I'll be there. Um, let's see. All right. I'll try to if nothing else, I'll try to lurk, but I'll be in your stream as well. Yeah. Okay. So that's the shape that we want. Okay. Now tomorrow we're going to add the pores and the vein. There's going to be veins. Oh yeah, I gotta look at the. I almost forgot about the hands. Yeah, that's right. I have to continue the hands too. I'm not gonna worry about his any detail in his feet. That's good enough. Going forward though, I think I'm going to sculpt the toes separately from now on because that turned out really well in my practice sculpt. So I'm just going to start doing it like I do the hand. I just won't be able to rig it. I do not know how to rig toes, and I don't think I ever need to know how to rig toes unless I was doing that kind of animation. But no, we should be fine. Hey Trig, welcome to the stream. How you been? How things going for you? We have to fix this ring and middle finger space here. That's not how it should be right there. Living and dying every day. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Ninja Trig here probably made the best parody comic of me. It was literally about me. That I've ever seen between all of us here. I've really enjoyed it. I wish I still had it, but I lost it. But it was pretty entertaining. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to. We were just talking about those days, Trig, where we would just rag on each other's art and it's stuff like that. The Legend of Art Thief. See, yeah, that's what I. You had a hand signal and everything. Every time you saw me, he would do go AT. I'm like, oh yeah. Where's the origin of that? I mean, I get it. I mean, yes, I did make things that were heavily influenced by the stuff that I enjoyed. I'm not afraid to admit that. I did recolors once upon a time back in elementary as well, but that's pretty much where it ended. As I got older, I started kind of like making my works more and more, at least trying, as original as they can be, in this day and age. Like I just said, I have a demon hipster chick character that I drew on stream, and that's a very common character type, to my chagrin. But what can you do? I forgot the hand symbol, the power to steal other powers. That was his only power. Yeah, and I like blue mages too. So um, that's pretty much what a blue mage does. You just copy somebody else's move, or you learn somebody else's spells. I am I'm a big fan of those types of power sets. Now you say that, I remember that now. Yeah, Yeah, the A is like A-T. Like, it's A-T. Like, I don't know if you can see that. What was it? A and then T, something like that. I forget how it went, but that's pretty much what it was. I didn't know that about the Blue Mage, so I guess that's why I hit even more. Yeah. It was either that or like or just me being enamored with firearms or whatever, because I always had a lot of characters that had these big giant firearm guns like Cable, because obviously, I mean, as much crap as people give Liefeld, he was sort of an inspiration to some of my art. And I was in that boat too. I was one of the people that criticized his art, even though I liked it. But he didn't draw feet, or and he drew a lot of pouches and guns, and I kind of adopted that a little bit back in the day. I was kind of the same way. I didn't really notice it until now. But in hindsight, yeah, it was really, I guess I was influenced by Rob Liefeld a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad, but he was one of the most popular artists of that time. So I don't even remember why I made it to begin with. I can tell you it was wholeheartedly from a place of fun and love, poking love. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Yes, I did not take any of that stuff personal. C99. There's the proof. That's the proof. He wasn't around for any of the stuff, for a lot of the stuff, which always made me wonder, like, why did he make me an art? He wasn't like around or drawn. At least I don't think he was. I don't. He must have been. I don't know, because it was pretty much on. It was like he nailed it, but he wasn't really. Trick wasn't really known for his art. That was like one of the few times that I've actually ever seen him draw. He was more of a we did the skateboarding and the games and things like that. It wasn't really art. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was actually called that in some cases. Some of my characters were actually were ripoffs of other characters. I was always wondering, like, I was like, how did he know about that? Because he wasn't around for that stuff. I don't know. Maybe that was said when I wasn't around. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But it didn't matter. I was at that point. I was making the efforts to not do XP characters in those days. So it's hard not to, especially now. But I can easily think of a way to make my characters not other people's characters. Like somebody I know, night what was it, Doom Walker, he saw one of my characters, and this was like when I was just starting digital art about 10 years ago. He called my character Judge Dreadpool, which was kind of hilarious, because that's pretty much like sums up all the inspiration for that specific OC. Using, oh yeah, tricep. The fun aspect was it taking obvious registered characters. Yeah. Using Spider-Man's web to descend into the museum Catwoman's claws to cut the glass in the circuit. That's why I like it, because you approach it in a way that it made sense. It not only did it make sense, but it was like, I don't know. It was like, I was like, wow, this is better than any parody that I've ever done, ever. Like, I didn't put any. My stuff was like more shock value, right? But you actually put thought into yours. I was like, man, I was like, why didn't I was like, I made me wonder. I was like, why didn't you draw more often? I mean, I know you'd like to do graffiti, but that was something that you didn't normally do. It was like you kind of blew my parodies out of the water a little bit there. I think after that, I just didn't do parodies anymore. I think that's what ended it. I was like, this is too good. I'm not doing this anymore. Like no more Last Fantasy, no more. What else did I do? What was Typo's? I made a parody series of Typo's characters too. I forget what I called it. It was I don't remember. I don't remember what his was called, but I made these parody series of his characters too, where it was just me just parodying all the stuff that he liked, like Mad Magazine. Curiously, I never actually read a Mad Magazine back then, but that's pretty much the type of stuff that I did, but with more shock value. Um, Batman's grappling with the leap. Yeah. Trig and I put years of art together, sitting on the floor listening to SNES game music and eating popcorn. Yeah, well, I didn't know that. Okay, that was hidden from me. All right. If I had been there, I would have probably put more effort into my parodies if that had happened sooner. Oh, we just undid everything. Sometimes you can't use the smoothing brush for things like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with a flat brush and just flatten it out that way. That's probably like a secondary choice for doing work like this. If the smoothing brush kind of just returns everything to where it was before, then just use the flat brush. Oh, yeah, I do not know why I did that. I kind of regret doing that because that was a little bit. I felt like that was a little bit below the belt. Yeah, I'm sorry. it wasn't it wasn't meant to be like that, but yeah, I did do that. Yeah. Last Fantasy about me and Jack, my German. Yeah, yeah, he was a it was like Final Fantasy how they had the weapons, like the big like ruby weapon, emerald weapon. I made him one of those. I don't even remember what I did. I just remember he just returned as like a guardian spirit or whatever or something like that. Yeah. That was a little bit do you see the return? Yeah. That was like it's kind of like I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't do something like that now, but yeah, back then it was a little weird. A little bit of a weirdo. That should I felt like in hindsight I should not have done that. Okay, the webbing. Okay, see this here shouldn't be here. This needs to come down some more. I just saw that he's got a little bit of web hand. And I think his hand, nah, his hand's all right. His thumb is like in a little bit of a, it's a little angled weirdly. But once it's rigged, it should be fine, I guess. I have all the hard feelings. You guys hardened me too much. Every time I saw, it, I was like, you can't be mad. You made fun of him first. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I don't remember how that started. I actually don't remember why I decided to make your pet a character or where that came from. I don't remember where that came from. I don't know. I don't know how that started, but it sounds pretty bad. I hope there was a justification. I really do. I don't remember. That's one of the things that it's just lost to my at least in my perspective time. I don't know. Do not know why. When Talos was gonna be the new trend. Yeah, I'm going to redesign him. I'm going to update his design. He's pretty much going to be the same. It's just he's just going to be drawn with my current skill level, and you know some things that I did back then just doesn't work now. Like some of the design choices I made, I feel like I need to update him a little bit. It's pretty much the same concept though. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll just resort to what he was called about what 11 years ago, Judge Dreadpool. There, not that could give you an idea what kind of character this is. The demeanor and how he acted was probably yeah inspired by Dread, where he's basically just a fascist. Deadpool, I would say more. Well, actually, no. You know, it was more like Spawn. He started off as a I was really big into Spawn back in the day. Okay, and I was like, you know what? I want to make a character like that. So I did. I redrew Spawn, but I made his cape purple. All right, that was my first and probably only recolor of a character that existed. Nope. I'm gonna take that back immediately because I did my own version of Angela too, which is a character that now Marvel owns. There's a whole thing with that, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. Um, those were probably my two first official characters. They're way different now, but their basic concept is something that I've just tried to keep in their design since then. Okay, but they started off as Spawn and Angela recolors. All right, it wasn't really. I was like, okay, well, I can't make him from hell or anything like that because I mean, obviously, people are gonna call him a ripoff. So I made it more based in science. It was like something. It was like a suit that was created in some kind of weird science experiment or whatever, and you know, and it was just looks like a Spawn character. Let me see. But yeah, it was from Bus Ride. I remember those days. Yeah, that's where Tricep was definitely born. Then I just had him do unspeakable things to other people's characters, just just to get a leg up over. I don't know whatever debate was happening. I don't even remember. I think I do remember how it started. Somebody asked who would win out of either my main OC, which was of course the Spawn recolor, or another character's OC, which was more like a Dragon Ball type character. And it started from that. That's how it started. I do remember that. And we both had very strong opinions about whose character was stronger, and it just kept escalating for years and years and years and years. I would say about not even years and years and years and years, but I would say about maybe 3 years total. We did these things. So it kind of originated from that, and it just kind of spiraled out of control. And then it just stopped there, and it became we were the parody, and our normal lives and things like that. It's 12. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop soon. Soon let me read the rest of these. I didn't make comic book characters, but I made two guys. I made named Sling and Blade from playing Dungeons and Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun. Growing up, his weapon was a sling. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't really get into Dungeons and Dragons. I think I mentioned during one of my Minecraft streams that Buck Rogers' Countdown to Doomsday uses the D20 rule set. I did not know that came from Dungeons and Dragons at the time, but I do know a little bit about how those rules are calculated. I don't know if they still use them, but that's my experience. That's my only experience with Dungeons and Dragons is that video game. It uses the same set, the same rule set as some of the editions of Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how it is now because I don't play it. The other's weapon obviously was a sword, and you said it was already made, so I had to stop production. And then I was like, we should make an art group. We artists and doing art together makes us united, so we would name ourselves United Artists. And you said that was already taken, and not only taken, well established. So with my studio, and I don't remember any of this. And my first character is already made. I was like, oh well, that name sounds familiar now. And all I remember is you kept drawing bigger and bigger muscles in engorged groin area. We'll say. That's what happens when you copy Image Comics a little too much, because those are all things that you will see in those in that type of art. Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, those were like my biggest influences back in the day. And then a couple of years later, Yoji Shinkawa, and then it started branching off into Japanese creators and anime and manga and all that stuff, and it all wrapped up into how I draw now, in a way, I guess. Tricep was basically brawly to me. Yeah, basically, yeah. Tricep was. I don't even think he had any speaking lines. He would just come in and basically do the equivalent of a raging demon, but not really a raging demon. It was something far more worse than that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop it here because I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate. Oops, that's not the wrong one. That's the right one. Appreciate you all coming by here if you're watching on the VOD and on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another art stream tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to start earlier, and we will finish doing the the redefining, and then hopefully I should be able to move toward baking. Okay.